In the last installment, namely Guo Wengui at the Old Hand of Ghostflight, teaches you how to avoid the hit of anti-corruption. The details of how Guo Wengui slandered Wang Qishan were revealed. Since Guo Wengui came on the stage, he didn't give any essential disclosure, not to mention so-called nuclear bomb, but a political talk show filled with void noise. It seems that the only plausible news he gave was on the issue on Wang Qishan related to the Hainan Airlines, but who would ever think that evidence can even not pass the most simple check? In the video to thank his 1,500,000 fans for their support, Guo said,
我们的举报一旦有一个谎言，有一个错误，那就是我们绝对是杀头之祸，不但解决不了问题，我们还帮了这坏人。
But look at the reality. He kept silent in front of netizens' queries on the recordings of Communist Party spy being suspected of forging. He didn't dare to give any response. But do the netizens really believe that Guo Wengui, a Chinese spy trained on the Marxism, only made the fake news on Wang Qishan? Still remember that the secret letter Hu Shuli written to Chinese presidents shown by Miles Kuo, Mitz Hu, chief editor of media group Caixin, who has publicly denied the letter in her WeChat moment, said that the signature was absolutely forged. Apart from such information, such lame statement cannot beat netizen scrutiny. Only by analyzing that Hu has acted as a power broker for such a long time. If she really wanted to write to Mr. Xi, she could have relied on her own social networks. It was ridiculous that she turned to rely on a middleman who was not her trusted fellow, and has long been notorious to deliver this letter. Instead, copying signatures, or forging signatures, is one of the professional unique skills of the Liar Quack team. According to Ma Jian confession, the former vice minister of the national security said, after recruited Quack as his secret agent, Quack has undergone professional training. They also launched data center in Pangu Plaza, equipped with all kinds of forgery tool. Some photos of parts of the facilities were circulated online at one time, after the leaking of Musk's confession video. With professional training and specialized equipment, the forgery factory of Liar Quack has started to producing a lot of fake products. It's if we say that when Quack Hurley and Puying could only help people buy gasoline, so as to implement fraud with false oil purchase agreement, then after the forgery factory accomplished, Quack's talent really with might redoubled. In Quack-style frauds that has been exposed, including forged company accounts, contract invoices, fake decisions of stockholders conference, as well as personal identification card, and so on. Among them, from 2008 to 2015, Quack used fraudulent means to obtain loans with fake contracts and invoices, false shareholders committee resolution, etc. 44 times cheated out of Kaifeng Bank, Choco Bank, Guangdong Development Bank, an industrial bank up to 1.4 billion yuan. In 2010, under the guise of renovation of the Pangu Plaza, he forged construction contracts, official seals and financial statements, and swindled $3.2 billion from Agricultural Bank of China. Oh, by the way, the corrupt official Xiang Jianba was involved. The forging model continued to play a role after Quack fled to the United States. You cannot make a crab walk straight. In addition to the aforementioned frauds about Wang Qishan and Hu Shuli, Liar Quack frequently tells lies in everyday life. For example, Quack has declared publicly that his Twitter account was registered with Bashun and Mr. Fu Chenghua. Has he ever cared about He Ping and Zhao Yan's feelings? He also bragged that the two lawyers drank wine that is worth $30,000 with him were senior FBI prosecutors. Their security guards were Interpol, and so on. To be honest, I really understand that you want to prove your special identity, but after each proved false, answer me, do you feel your face hurt? When he gradually exhausted his reputation, in order to seek attention, he has to provide some real stuff, either false materials like Wang Qishan and Hu Shuli, or phone call recordings that turned out inaudible at every key point, or rigging up several pictures that has already circulated online and not been able to be proved authenticity, or make up romantic stories about senior leaders or their family members with beautiful ladies. Can you devote more to your disclosure? In fact, observant audience should have noticed that this disclosure is just as gimmick for marketing. Actually, His brain is totally empty. As a result, he can only hope to get attention from the public with offcuts, and then see if he is good luck to get some from the netizens. Obvious traces in the process are nothing more than a long period of careful preparation. However, often after the stage of preparation, when it comes to the key moment of reveal, what had been presented are whether false materials or unsubstantiated contents circulated online. What is more, even recordings inaudible were rendered into earth-shaking facts. Just to ask, in the recordings of talks with Hu Chunhui broadcast on VOA, why parts of Fu speaking were blurred, entirely inaudible. If the audience cannot hear clearly, how do you catch the content? In the drunk video released on May 2nd, a scandal broke involving a so-called Chinese leader with powerful clout and female stars. But I wonder why the microphone suddenly failed exactly when you were disclosing that news, and why you didn't record the merely several seconds content again. As an expert in falsifying, you should have been more serious. Miles Guo, you've tweeted on April 22nd. Today, I'd promise the world if I fail to prove that Politics and Law Committee and Central Commission for Discipline Inspection are actually two evil charlatans, corruptors and murderers, who have hoarded savings of up to trillions of yuan in foreign banks, I'll commit suicide by laying open my bowel. Given to the facts that I've presented before, I can do nothing but admit that, despite your proclivity to lie, you've cursed yourself too heavily this time. Your worst ending, as we have expected, is a kind of Pinocchio comedy, rather than a tragedy where harakiri is the way. Falsifying is easy, but falsifying successfully is not. Everything has just kicked off.